Hello, magnificent human beings. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Landon Slaughter, and here we do yoga. We talk about life. We focus on personal growth. Yes, that's exactly what we're going to do today because we're going to learn about Ardha Salabhasana, that is half locust. Now, this is a difficult pose because it requires a lot of that low back strength to kind of lift those legs up and then also getting those hands in the right position, right? So we're going to talk about a lot of these things, dissect this posture over the next 7 to 10 minutes. So please stay tuned, roll out your mat, and I will roll the intro screen. Thank you all for being here. It is time to look at half locust Ardha Salabhasana. Now, I'm going to go over 3 quick ways to do this posture. One is basically the original traditional way. Another is a part that focuses on low back strengthening. And then another is a cool trick, hack, tip that you can use to kind of find this cool, unique middle ground. So first of all, laying on your mat, and I'm going to apologize for audio issues because keeping my microphone right here next to the mat really kind of, is difficult. So, laying on down, we want to talk about the hand positionment first. And you want to externally rotate that hand outward. So, you're not just putting the top of your hand on the mat. You want your palm on the mat. And then you may need to kind of practice this, right? Because at first you just want to roll onto that forearm. Think in between your hip bone and your pubic bone, is where you want that forearm to come. And so it's not necessarily that your hip bone right here, like the top of your iliac crest, I believe, is digging into your forearm. You don't want that. You just want, that arm in between kind of that pubic bone and hip bone area. And then you roll on to one side. And then it gets difficult where you have to do the same thing on the other side. So sometimes it's nice to just maybe bring this leg up and then thread down through. Or if you can, roll all the way over and then rolling on to that hip. Now, depending on how your shoulders are, it's going to be kind of difficult to get things in the right position. You want to have your hands pretty close together, so pinkies basically touching, so really, really close. So that's why I say you almost want your forearms in between kind of this pubic bone and hip crease area down through so that you can keep your hands really close together. And what's funny is that we have a natural tendency when we do this to roll our shoulders in to get our hands into the right position, right? So yes, they do need to kind of roll forward a little bit, which is funny because in yoga we always talk about, oh no, shoulders never should roll forward. They're naturally going to need to roll forward just a little bit. But the kind of, dichotomous relationship is that they're rolled forward, but you relax them back. And there's the tendency to bring them forward, yes, but you need to relax them back at the same time. I know it's weird, but just trust me, it happens over time. So again, that's kind of the first traditional way, is that you have, those forearms there, and then eventually you're lifting your legs up behind you. And typically we'll do one leg and then the other, and then you raise both at the same time. Now, it's a lot of low back strength, and you'll see people in the Salabhasana where they bring their feet all the way up. And depending on, your level of back strength and flexibility, this may be an option for you. But for most of us, we're going to be kind of struggling just to keep our feet, a few inches there off the mat, which is fine. And it's been rumored that this whole effect of, those hips kind of digging into your forearms creates something called the tourniquet effect in yoga, where it helps to bring fresh, new, oxygenated blood into our arms and our extremities, thus helping to cure things like varicose veins and scar tissue and things of that nature. Now, I personally have not read any scientific study that proves this, but I'm going to kick this one over to you guys and let me know if you've actually had success in this by things clearing up, scar tissue or things like that, pain in your wrists. So maybe it's a thing, maybe it's not a thing. Nonetheless, this definitely helps to strengthen that low back at the very least. Okay. Second thing is that let's say you cannot get your arms underneath, they just won't go. Here's another tip that you can do to at least start to build your low back strength. Laying flat on the mat, bring your hands palms down right beside you. So almost kind of like a streamlined Superman instead of flying like this, being aerodynamic here on the mat. And then you can raise one leg, setting it down, and then after the teacher guides you to raise the next one, setting it down, and then raising both. So don't worry about getting your hands underneath, just focus on the low back strengthening at this point, because there's other poses in yoga you can do to really help to clarify and clean this up. And here's the final tip for that Ardha Salabhasana. If you have trouble being able to, put your hips on those forearms, using a wall to help. So hands together, pinkies touching, palms turn out, and pressing your hips here into those forearms. Depending on how much weight you want to put in, you can, lean against the wall. You can be standing, whatever you like. So using our magical wall friend as a prop. So there is our look at Ardha Salabhasana, that half locust. Please subscribe, share, tell the world about this amazing, awesome video. Well, maybe not that, but you get the point. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. From my heart to all yours. Namaste.